Hey guys, it's Shane here to give you another animated movie review, and this time I'm going to review the Netflix exclusive Godzilla Planet of the Monsters. Now, a lot of people don't realize that this movie is on Netflix because, really wasn't broadcast. It did get a theatrical release in Japan, but other places around the world it showed up on Netflix. It was came out in 2017, I believe. Now, if you're new to Godzilla and don't really understand who is Godzilla, what is Godzilla, maybe you saw the movie that had Bryan Cranston in it. Maybe you saw King of the Monsters that had, was it 11 from Stranger Things in it. Well, give you a quick background. Godzilla was created by the Japanese, not animation, but the Japanese studio Toho. Toho has made 32 Godzilla films and is is one of the four giant movie studios in Japan. Godzilla falls under the genre of kaiju films, which means strange monster, but a lot of people think kaiju means giant creatures, and not necessarily the case, but usually they are giant creatures like Mothra, Rodan, King Ghidorah, and of course Godzilla. King Kong can fall underneath that, but King Kong is, of course, made by American television, American studios. Uh, the kaiju films also fall under what I've been talking about a long time, tokusatsu, which just means special effects. So they usually get people in suits and they film different aspects, and that's how you get it. But with this, we have, I think, our first ever Japanese anime of Godzilla. Now, Godzilla has shown up in anime before. He showed up in the My Hero Academia first movie, and if you remember the American Godzilla, which in Japan it's not a Godzilla. They call it Zilla. I remember in I believe 1998 we had our own cartoon of Godzilla. This is something totally different. Uh, as usual, I'm gonna give it 5 star, 5 point rating. Five being the highest, one being the lowest, three being in the middle. I'm gonna grade on certain things, and I just give you a quick review of the movie and let you know what's going on. So the movie starts with a captain. Just let me look up his name. I believe his name's Captain Haru Saki. I mean Sakaki. He is threatening to blow up a ship that is going to transport a lot of old volunteers to check out a planet to see if they can terraform it. And of course, the people have been on the ship apparently for a very long time, and he's saying this is just a way to get rid of all the old people and make space because we don't have a lot of food. And it turns out his grandfather was on the ship. Well, as soon as the ship was gone, it blew up because they end up capturing the captain and putting him in confinement and locking him up as a prisoner. Well, turns out that the human race has been in space in the galactic sector of Tau E. For you space nuts, that's an actual thing apparently. And for 20 years, they've been in space because years ago, giant monsters started to appear. And when you see the film, it just kind of like shows a giant mantis and another thing. One of the monsters does look like Destroyer. I will give them credit for that. And another one kind of vaguely looks like Gamera, if you know anything about kaiju films. And so, the greatest of all the monsters, Godzilla, appears, defeats all the other giant monsters, but Godzilla is starting to rampage and is causing. They don't know how to kill Godzilla. Well, these two different aliens appear on Earth. The one is called the Elif, which kind of looks like Elf but with an eye, and then the other one, I definitely go look up this one, are the Bilisaladu. I'm just gonna call those people the Bilus. They appear and they're saying, "Well, you know what? If you let us stay here, we'll figure out your Godzilla problem." Well, the Bilus, they try to make Mecha Godzilla, but Mecha Godzilla doesn't come online. So the two groups, aliens and humans, are forced to leave. Then we are shown that the captain has a huge grudge against Godzilla because as a child, when him and his grandfather were about to get on the ship, his parents were on a convoy. Godzilla shows up, destroys the convoy, destroys one of the ships going off. They managed to make it out, but a lot of people died. Turns out, in our current time frame, apparently someone is putting on this ship with all the, I guess they have some form of internet, some form of newsletter with the thousands of people that are on this ship, and someone's putting out information about Godzilla on how to kill it and how to beat it. And it turns out that the captain's getting information from one of the Elif people, because apparently they have some type of strange fascination with him. And when the Elif, when they come to a conclusion of saying we can't wander in space for long, we're running out of resources, people are getting sick, people are dying. Why not go back? Well, it turns out that if anybody's ever watched any sci-fi or space films, the farther away you get away from the Earth, time becomes different. So to them, they've been gone for 20 years. You know, Haru went from being around 10 to 12. 20 years later, he's now in his 30s. But the planet has not been. The planet has changed. It's actually been. First, they thought it had been 7,000 years, but as they come to find out, it's been about 10,000 years since they have actually been on this planet. So, through many plot devices, the captain is able to work with them. He's the one who understands Godzilla. He's obsessed with killing him. He's telling them we got to get our home back. They get back, and then chaos ensues when the planet is completely different. You got these other smaller, they look like wyvern creatures attacking them. And as they're preparing to find a way how to kill Godzilla and making their preparations, who shows up but Godzilla? And things are already not working out for them because they had an attack from these smaller wyvern creatures and they were going to retreat back to their ship, but now they have to deal with Godzilla. And I'm purposely skipping certain plot points because they're characters that know each other, but this is more of a thing where you should watch it. If you're really interested, watch it to see these character interactions, because you do get the old friend who apparently Haru knew. Then you get the young lady who was obsessed with the words that he said, believing that they did sacrifice the old people. So we already got two allies. Unfortunately, someone ends up dying. Well, a lot of people end up dying. And Haru just goes full force with his plan once his friend, who was the captain, ends up dying. So they're going all in and killing Godzilla. They lose a lot of people. They lose a lot of resources. But in the end, they end up toppling over Godzilla. And one of the doctors who says, well, you know, the planet's been around for a while, but this Godzilla doesn't seem the same. Because at first they were thinking that maybe there were multiple Godzillas over this long period of time. They're wondering, how did he stay alive that long? Maybe he hibernated. But they come up with the conclusion that this isn't the same Godzilla. This might be an offspring. And the planet is only big enough to house one of these creatures. But lo and behold, as soon as they kill the one Godzilla, because they found a weak point, because Godzilla is OP and has a shield generator in addition to his laser breath. They kill him, but after killing Godzilla, they realize that was just a child. And then the real Godzilla appears, who is 3 to 5 times bigger than this child Godzilla. And the movie ends on this note, but you do get a little flash from Haru still being alive, but seeing a person that appears to be like a native person. And this is where our film ends, and we'll see what happens, because this is a 3-part series. Now, for pacing, the feeling I get from this movie is much like the original 1954 Godzilla, dubbed King of the Monsters for the American release. Once you get to the kaiju, I'll say kaiju, once you get to the little wyverns, then things start to pick up a bit, but it is a lot of exposition. This feels like it was going to be not a Godzilla animated movie, but more like a Godzilla animated series. And I would have been very disappointed if I had one full episode of 23 minutes of just exposition. So I'm stretching this out to be a hour. It's an 88-minute movie, so it's like what, an hour and 20 minutes, right? So getting this movie hour and 20, hour and 40 minutes. So getting the slowness, and you got to understand at least our main character's position, and try to understand all the people around him and their positions. So the pacing is slow. The pacing is very, very slow. But when we get to see the monsters, we see the monsters, and it's fun. Animation, it's unique because the it's Toho animation, but at the same time, it is in conjunction with Polygon Pictures. And Polygon Pictures has done a bunch of stuff. They've done Tron Uprising, which that art is kind of weird. It's 3D, but it's shell shaded and it's kind of stoppy and choppy. But they've also done a few episodes of Star Wars: The Clone Wars. They've also done Transformers Prime, the show that was on. I cannot remember what station it was on, but but animation for Transformers Prime wasn't bad. It's actually pretty good. So the art here is pretty unique. Um, I say if you actually sit down and watch about 30 minutes of it, you get used to it. It's not bad. It's not good. It's okay. It's decent. Godzilla's design, I will give them credit. This is a very different Godzilla. A little fun fact: starting with the Shin Godzilla series, these anime movies count as part of the Reiwa era of Godzilla movies. And when it comes to things like Reiwa, that's when they had a new emperor. The old emperor died. They just recently got a new emperor. I want to say, and it's 2020 now. I want to say 2018, 2019. So they're counting these as part of that era of movies, regardless of the time frame. So within this era, this is a very different looking Godzilla. At first, I thought he was kind of plant-ish looking. The one that we see originally, he does have the fins, and the fins do light up when he fires the atomic breath. But then when we see the actual Godzilla, the parent Godzilla, really reminiscent of the Godzilla movie with Bryan Cranston, and very reminiscent of that Godzilla. I've not fully watched that movie. I should probably give it a look sometime this weekend. I'll probably watch King of the Monsters as well. So the look is okay. Pacing is slow. The plot, it's it's a basic plot. If I'm going to be completely honest with you, it's not the same plot that we've seen in any Godzilla movie. I can't remember out of all the 30-ish movies, and yes, I have seen most, if not all, of these movies have not had the humans gone and come back. They have integrated with aliens before. Yes, this has been a thing, but they never had to leave because Godzilla came too much. Godzilla is usually a force of destruction, but when there's a threat to the Earth, he becomes kind of a defender, much like the other kaiju, Gamera and Mothra. So, seeing this Godzilla being a act of God and a force of nature that is the humans have to find a way how to kill this thing and get over it. It was interesting. I definitely can say I was engaged and I was paying attention. At least once the captain was freed, I was paying a little bit more attention because I know this is a three-part series. And I'm trying to pay attention to some of these relationships and see what happens later on down the road. Now, I can't say that I saw a second Godzilla popping up. It's pretty interesting. That did also happen in the movies. I believe it was with Godzilla versus Space Godzilla, because there was a Godzilla baby, Gazuki, if anybody remembers Gazuki, and Gazuki got killed by, I want to say, Destroyer in another movie, and the original Godzilla was starting to burn up and getting ready to explode, but out of that, the new Godzilla, Gazuki, finally grew up and became the new Godzilla. So this is kind of reminiscent, but it's kind of in reverse, where we have the newer Godzilla dying off and then the old one waking up. I am looking forward to seeing where they go with this. The name drop of Mechagodzilla, that was interesting for me. I'm hoping, and I got a little bit of a look like the first Mechagodzilla. I'm kind of hoping the second movie, which is called City on the Edge of Battle, very long name. I'm hoping the City on the Edge of Battle has Mechagodzilla in it, because we still have these a lot of the platoon is still alive, even though a lot of them died fighting the first Godzilla. A lot of them died from the second Godzilla waking up. So I'm hoping we get some type of mecha battle, another two giant creatures attacking each other. So with all that being said, I enjoyed the movie because you know with that Godzilla bias, I like Godzilla. I like to at least experience the different mediums because Godzilla's had different forms. He's had different interpretations. He's been downright serious from the older films from starting with 1954, which is a message about nuclear war and how things can be dangerous, from the silly where you see Godzilla using his breath to fly across the ocean. I cannot remember which movie that was, but it was it was in the 80s Godzilla. And then you get something like this, which is it's an anime, but it has a serious feel to it. And I don't know if they're ever going to touch on how Godzilla came to be, if he is a creation of man, because when in the original films, you know, nuclear testing on an offshore island made these Galapagos iguanas turn into Godzilla. So, and in some cases, it woke up Godzilla. So I'm interested in seeing if maybe in the second or in the third film they touch on how Godzilla came to be. Who knows? But all in all, it's an okay movie. It's something that if you love Godzilla, period, please give it a look. If you are looking for a different style of animation to watch and to critique and see how different styles of animation, especially with 3D and cell shading, can be, give it a look. I would give this out of 5, probably a 3. It's decent. It's not bad, but it's not great. I wish I could give you a list of older Godzilla movies, but I don't know. In this day and age, it's kind of hard for people to sometimes watch people in suits. I know in Japan it's easy for them because they still have things like Super Sentai, the Kamen Riders, and stuff like that. But I don't know how American audiences do. I know as a kid I loved it. Just gotta take it out of your mind. I know the Shin Godzilla series. That Godzilla is a mixture of a person in a suit and 3D effects, and from what I've seen in the movie, it's really, really, really good. It is also a callback to the original movie, which the original movie from 1954, which deals with the fallout of nuclear war and waste and things of that nature of what humans are doing to the planet. So, all in all, give it a watch. It's not necessary, but it is a fun film to watch. So, please, if you enjoyed the video, like the video, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and please, please share this video. Let me know, what do you guys think? Do you guys even like Godzilla? Did you know that the American Godzilla is gonna have a fight with King Kong? They have a Godzilla versus King Kong movie coming up. I really hope that comes out not this year or next year. Hope it comes out when all this global business is over and I can actually sit in the theater and enjoy it. What are your favorite monsters? Do you like kaiju films? Let me know down below. Until next time, guys, be good, be blessed. I'll see you around.